What's up, disc golfers? Matt Dollar here, and today I am going to show you the highlights from my last round at the 2019 Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. Big shout out to my homie Jay Cleveland Gobert for caddying for me and recording some of this action with my GoPro. Hole 1 going Neutron Dimension, Big Annie into the wind. Get it over there nicely, over the dam onto the hillside. Gonna go deflector on the upshot. And with a little bit of a windy birdie putt, it's gonna be the Electron Soft Envy. Not near as cold with all these storms going down. That ended up being my only birdie of the event on hole number 1. Hole 2, I went sidearm today. Got a huge sidearm off in round 2 on this hole. Tried to repeat the process. There was a little more wind, so I went with a more stable disc, a more stable Fission Photon. Didn't throw a great tee shot. Second shot with the flippier Fission Photon, counter skipped OB. So throwing 4 here with the Neutron Soft Envy. Gonna end up just outside the circle. It was a really scary upshot with that lake so close on the left and the low ceiling tunnel shot. Nice. Super pumped to make that bogey save. After birdieing hole 1, the one thing you don't want to do is give it right back, or even worse, go right over par. Usually go thumber here, but it's a really bad wind for it, and wasn't feeling great about my elbow and thumbers for round 3, so I went with the sidearm with a Neutron Wrath.
Nice shot, doggy.
Got to back it up with another outside the circle birdie. This is the 400-foot par 3, hole 4. I'm throwing the brand new Neutron Pyro. Started on a little anhyzer, got it worked around those trees, and hyzer down here just past pin high into the woods. Scary birdie putt into a headwind. And the Electron Soft Envy knocks it home. So after 3 really good putts in a row, I was feeling pumped coming into hole 5. I don't attack this for the 2 normally. We had a really good wind today, and I still wasn't trying to attack it. Actually got the green flag from the spotter we all thought I was in, and then once we got all the way up there, I was out of bounds, had to go to the drop zone, and then threw it out of bounds from there. So that's actually my jump putt up shot for 5, and then tapping in for 6. So triple bogey. So through 5 holes, I already have a triple bogey, a bogey, and 2 birdies. And I tell you what, on this hole right here, just getting a 4 is a birdie in my opinion. They call it a par 4, but it is a par 5 if you can't throw 500 feet. Went with the Neutron Phase on that last upshot. I was just afraid the deflector might catch that wind and push a little further left than I wanted, but I did end up putting with the deflector because of the wind. This is another hole where I played a completely different shot than I ever play, just like hole 3. Usually it's the thumber down the middle, but once again, bad wind for the thumber, and just wasn't feeling thumbers today. So I went with the Dimension out the right side, skip off the road play. Threw it a little too high, didn't get the skip, but did crawl back inside the circle and snag the birdie. We had some camera malfunctions on the next couple holes, but basically went par birdie on 8 and 9 to get back to par on the front 9 after a crazy roller coaster. This was the only thumber I threw the entire round, and I felt like the way the wind was blowing, it was just smarter to throw the thumber even though I wasn't feeling it than to trust the sidearm, which has a better chance of catching that wind and getting a big skip OB. That was the only hole I was able to birdie all 3 rounds of the tournament. I've been back and forth on laying up or not on the water tower hole. This straight uphill tee pad is the worst. If it was a flat tee pad, I would just be able to throw a normal hyzer shot, but something about my over access torque leads me to not be able to throw off a slanted uphill tee pad without pulling it. So went for it with a flex shot today and went out of bounds too far to the right. and just had to get up and down with the deflector from the drop zone. Hole 13, the big par 5 over the water, neutron dimension to the landing zone. Actually pushed a little too far off the tee to play the hyzer out over the water on the second shot, which is the way to get the birdie. We had a left or right wind on this hole, so once I was not able to play the right side from a perfect angle, I pretty much was committed into playing the left side here. The next shot from there, I actually threw an anhyzer with a dimension, flexed out a little, went out of bounds, had to pitch down and tap out for the bogey. So the crazy round just continues to go up and down. Really just trying to shoot a par around here. Threw a great drive on 14 and kind of twisted my ankle just a little bit there. Kind of stepped weird into my throw and just grip locked that dimension 200 feet out to sea, never to be seen again. So that was actually 3 bogeys in a row, and I do believe that puts me to 1 over par at this point in my round. Tough wind on hole 15 every round, and then 16 as well. 16 and 15 either played with a headwind or a really hard right to left, which just made it really hard to have the anhyzer tee shot land flat. Didn't get the second shot on that one. That was actually a really good save. I threw the deflector on that upshot. It was a very tricky upshot with that wind and that hill, also with the OB behind it. Hole 17, I missed the island the first 2 rounds. Got a really good wind read off the guy in front of me here, and used that to my advantage and was able to flex the neutron phase up there just inside the circle. And snagged that birdie to get back to even par after 4 bogeys and a triple. Back to even par going into 18. Really tough wind to try and throw a roller or a backhand, so I'm going to go sidearm. And as I'll tell you there, it kind of slipped out. That was just an awful sidearm shot, probably my worst one of the whole tournament. So it leaves me really short. I'm going to go neutron dimension. Hole 18 already plays like a par 5 unless there's a favorable wind. The only way I'm ever getting a birdie on it is if I get a roller out over 450 feet. Going neutron phase, trying to shoot the left side of that tree. Comes in a little bit early. That's going to leave me with a long circle 2 putt to try and save the par and shoot even par this last round. So close. Thanks for watching this video, and thanks to Cleveland for filming and caddying. I'll be back with more action, guys.